They say in life, never let the train leave the station without you. And I think that's exactly what we're doing here. I believe there's a bit of a hill coming up out of here, so we'll have to be ready for that. And hopefully we don't stall, because that's not what we're about here on this channel. We like to keep things moving. If things aren't moving, then that's just not good. Oh, and there goes the wheels. Oh no, the wheels are spinning. The wheels are spinning. The wheels are spinning, the wheels are spinning, the wheels are spinning, the wheels are spinning, and we're stalling, and we're stalling. What have I done? No, we're stalling, no. Wheel slip, wheel slip, wheel slip. Let's have a look at this wheel slip. It's actually not too bad, but it is slipping. Oh no, we've done it now, we've done it now. So that's what happens when you get up. Yep, that's what happens when you faff around. This is what happens. You stall the locomotive. I've actually stalled the engine, and now we're just rolling back down the hill. Look at that. As far as the eye can see, we are hauling the train. That's horrible. Sorry. Yep. Ooh, look at that. Plus 3.3% gradient up ahead. We haven't climbed the gradient that hard yet. Are we ready for this? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again, and welcome to those new subscribers and new viewers, hopefully new subscribers. In today's video we're going to be looking at the DM3, the diesel mechanical locomotive in this wonderful game, Derail Valley Simulator. Now, for those of you who have watched a few of my recent videos on this game was only just recently updated with the simulator mode. And I ran a poll on my channel, on my YouTube channel, probably a few days ago now, almost a week ago I guess. And yeah, I pretty much polled you guys and just said, look, which locomotive do you enjoy the most? And this locomotive came back as more or less in the majority. So I thought, let's do another video with this thing. And so what I've done is I've just hooked up a whole pile of refrigerative cars to the end of this locomotive today. And we are here basically at Food Factory, so FF, towards the top middle section of the map there. You'll see this FF on the map. Food Factory. I don't know why they've abbreviated all the town and station names in this simulator update of this game, but they've done it anyway. I'm not playing this game in virtual reality mode. I haven't done that in a little while now, just playing it in the normal 2D or 3D monitor mode, I guess, that you have with the mouse, keyboard and whatnot. So I thought I would take this DM3 locomotive out for another little run today, as I mentioned, because you guys just can't seem to get enough of it. And to be honest, I agree with you wholeheartedly in that respect as well. So I'm just running to the back of the train here, and what I'm going to do is just let off the handbrake here, because normally it's the last wagon that has the handbrake set. Alright, and so yeah, these are refrigerative cars carrying food, I would imagine, and they weigh about 21 ton each, and we've got 12 of them today. So that's about 250 ton, 252 ton if you're counting at home, plus the locomotive. So yeah, we're pushing almost 300 ton here, basically this entire train. So nothing to really be sneezed at. Now this thing is apparently rated up to 500 ton, and I'm yet to really push it that far. The thing with these load ratings is I find that they're a little bit all over the place, and they really don't take into account any hills and inclines, grades, whatever you might like to call them, into account. So yeah, we do have a bit of a grade coming out of Food Factory today, so that should be interesting to see how this goes. So yeah, 52 ton. So yeah, we're basically just over 300 ton entire train today. So good luck to us. Let's head on up into the cab, and oh, how I missed the DM3. Let's go ahead and just get this thing fired up. So electricals first, cab light, dash light, and there seems to be some condensation on the glass here. Hasn't been raining, but anyway, let's turn on the wipers. Oh, isn't that lovely? This is all part of the simulator update as well, introducing weather effects and day-night cycle. It'll most likely be night by the time we're done here today as well. We'll see how we go. Alright, wipers off. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. So really all you need to do here is, with the DM3, the diesel mechanical locomotive, is you've got these two starter switches. First one's starter power, and second one's the starter itself. So starter power first, and then starter. Here we go. Springs into life. There we are, idling at a nice leisurely 200 or so RPM there. And we've got really nice weather from the looks of it. We'll see how the weather goes today though, and tonight. I'm sure we'll probably get a little bit of rain. First thing this thing will do is charge up the braking system, and that's going to take a while. Once again, the red indicator is the brake pipe, so that's an indication of how much braking you've got applied. If the red indicator is at 0, that means that you don't have any brakes on. And we've got our handbrake set in the locomotive here, so that's what's holding us. But you can see that the main reservoir is actually taking a little bit of time to charge now, and it really all depends on how many cars you've got behind you. So we've got a few wagons today. Let's get these lights going. I'm not exactly... I can never remember how these lights work. Nope, that's not right. That's just... I thought maybe there was some sort of outer ring that was illuminated there, but I don't think so. Let me just do a bit more trickery here. Ah, that's looking better. Yeah, that's how I like it. Just that nice mid-beam. Okay, that's not what we want on the back though. That's more for shunting purposes. Just bear with me, folks. We'll be going. Who needs a red light at the back anyway? Let's just jump in. Just take one last look before we do that, actually. Yeah, that's one for the thumbnail, maybe. Okay, so what we're doing today... Ooh, okay, so you can hear the change in the engine note there. The brake pipe is charged up. So now the compressor's not running anymore. Engine's idled up. Cool. Okay, so we're going from Food Factory. And I'm thinking we'll probably head on down to City Southwest at the bottom left-hand corner of the map there. I'll bring the map up again shortly anyway. Let's just get on out of here first. Just close up the door a little bit and get a little bit more quietness for ourselves. And I see the moisture's returned, so let's just turn the wipers back on. So we'll be heading straight out today. And this time I'm not going to bother about setting any points. It's just signal our intent. We're in low. Reverser in forward. Engine's kind of taking a bit of load there. And the brake indicator, sorry, the brake lever. That's the apply. You can see the red needles rising. That's applying the brake. Don't want that. Let's release the brake. And you can see the red needles coming down, indicating a release. Now, one thing to note with this as well is just the running position for the brake, so don't let that catch you out. This locomotive is quite old school in that you do have a running position that you should move it to. There you go. And especially once you've applied what you want, you should bring it back to that middle position there so that you don't keep applying your brake. So that's applying slowly. And then when we move it back to the middle, see how it holds that applied? It's not applying it any further. Otherwise, if you just keep applying it, it's just going to get stronger and stronger, which is not what you want. So let's release again. Bring the indication back to 0. Make sure our handbrake is off. Yes, it is. Okay, very good. And rear wipers working as well. Very good. Okay, handbrakes are off. Brakes are released. And brakes in running. Headlights on. Reverser forward. Ooh, just got a little bit of wheel slip there. The one thing with this locomotive is, even though we're in 1-1, and I'm not going to explain how the gears work in this video, you'll have to watch the previous video, card up above, to see how that works. But yeah, you see how easily the wheels just slip? And I believe that's because it's actually quite a light locomotive at, say, 50 ton, compared to, say, the DH4, which I just did a video on, which was around the 80 ton mark. So let's just change gears here and get a little bit more speed out of her and reduce our torque, because we don't need so much torque moving forward. And we'll just roll on out of here and we'll get this show on the road. Now we've got quite a bit of load behind us, so we're at 300 ton 300 ton or thereabouts total weight today, so we are coming up to the apparent 500 ton maximum load rating for this locomotive, more or less. Kind of not really, but really just depends. I like to take those load ratings with a grain of salt, because I find that once you hit a hill, oh man, all bets are off. So yeah, I believe there's a bit of a hill coming up out of here, so we'll have to be ready for that. And hopefully we don't stall, because that's not what we're about here on this channel. We like to keep things moving. If things aren't moving, then that's just not good. Now, I did hear with this one that you cannot actually hook up a multiple, that's cool, look at that. Yeah, just watching the world go by. Watching the world go by. They say in life, never let the train leave the station without you. And I think that's exactly what we're doing here. I've enabled the exterior view on this realistic mode. I think, as I mentioned in my previous video, I've created a custom mode, which is basically realistic mode with external view on and the map GPS marker showing, just so that you guys can follow along as well. Okay, I just missed that speed sign, but I do believe it's at 70, so let's just increase the power here and see what's going on. We're in 2.2 there, gear-wise. Let's get this thing going, because I think there's an incline coming up here. Oh boy. Yeah, it does look like a bit of an incline. The one thing with this is that it takes time to change gear, and if you don't want to crunch your gears, you should move the throttle back all the way to idle. And I find that in the process of doing that, you lose momentum, and then it's like, oh no, I'm slowing down while I'm trying to change gears, and now I have to change down again. I'm in 3.2 right now, so I'm just going to go back to 3.1. Ooh, and there goes the wheels. Oh no, the wheels are spinning. 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 And we're stalling. And we're stalling. Got the sand on now, but now our gears are too high. Trying to change gear, lose more momentum. Quick, go back to 2.1. This is not a good start. 1.1. Right back to the start. Oh no, we've got the sand on and we're still slipping. If you've got the sand on and you're still slipping, I think there's a big problem there. Let's just have a look at what's going on here. Yeah. The one thing with this locomotive is it will pull a pretty heavy load, but it will just do it really slowly. And I think I was starting to say something before and then I went on a different tangent, but one thing with this as well is it's quite lightweight, so even though it seems to have quite a bit of torque, because it's light, you just don't have the ability to put that torque down onto the rails. But it's all relative, isn't it? Let's just close up the sander. Oh, close up the sander and there comes the wheel slip again. So we're going to need the sanding on. I'm just trying to save my sand a little bit. Okay, we're making good progress here. We'll see what the rest of the route has to offer us. Anyway, let's try and shift up here. So we're going to 1. Oh man, no, that's not good. Oh no, I grinded the gears. Sorry. What have I done? No, we're stalling. No. Okay, very good. Managed to save that time. And I've got the sand on full once again. I don't want that. Turn off the sand and you can hear the wheels struggling. This is actually a very light locomotive. I mean, like I said, it's all relative. It's not like it's the little shunting locomotive, but it's still lighter than a lot of the other locomotives in this game. So, probably the second lightest, I'd say. Apart from maybe that steam shunter that's coming out soon, I believe. Wheel slip, wheel slip, wheel slip. Let's have a look at this wheel slip. It's actually not too bad, but it is slipping. Oh no. Oh no, we've done it now, we've done it now. So that's what happens when you get up. Yep, that's what happens when you faff around. This is what happens. You stall the locomotive. I've actually stalled the engine and now we're just rolling back down the hill. I should really do something about that. Make sure the sand's off. We'll apply the brake. Oh no, applied the brake too much. Oh no. Oh, we just locked the wheels up pretty bad there. I'm not really treating this locomotive very well today, am I? Alright, let's try again. So, low, low. Sand. Releasing the brake, and let's get on the power before the brakes come off. I really hope that we can get this thing moving on this hill. Come on, come on. Don't want to stall because that would be horrible. We'd have to roll all the way back, or we'll have to go back quite a distance. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. Thank goodness for that. Okay, I learned my lesson, folks. Now I'm just going to go nice and slow for the moment. You can see there that we are somewhat making a little bit of progress out of Food Factory. Don't need this sand, it seems. Listen for wheel slip. So as long as you keep the speed down, she's rather happy to just puddle along. Considering we've got quite a heavy load behind us today, so... Yes, we're trying to pull this heavy load up this hill. A 300-ton combined weight, so that's quite a bit of weight to be trying to pull up this hill. No helper locomotive or anything like that. One thing I might do in a future video is maybe try and pull an even heavier load and put a little DE2, I think it is, the little shunter behind, and then just have a remote and then see if we can't get that thing, see if we can't get the train going. Maybe try and leave Harbour and Town, but that sort of setup in the rain even. We'll see. Sounds like an idea though, doesn't it? As always, please do leave a comment below if you have any ideas. I'm sure they'll be a lot better than the ideas that I have. Look at me trying to just pull this really heavy train up this hill, and all I've got is this cute little diesel mechanical locomotive, which I do have a little soft spot for, I must say. Okay, we are increasing, excellent, increasing speed and momentum. Let's just quickly go back to idle and quick change. Ooh, it's kind of bogged down a bit. We just went to 1-2, which is the very next gear in the sequence, and thankfully I'm just going to close up the sander because we probably don't need that anymore. But yeah, thankfully we are maintaining and increasing speed, which is excellent to see. It could well be that we are out of the woods now, even though there's woods all around us. Alright, we'll go into 2-1, which is our, well, third gear on my list. And that's yeah, not happy. No, I'm having a brain fart. Which gear do I go to? Let's just try the sand for now. I'm in 2-1, so I'm like third ratio in the gearbox. That's not too bad. Got the sanding on. Trying to turn these wipers off. Oh no. I didn't turn the wipers off, did I? I just messed with the lights. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to put the map down there, and you can see there it's a lot easier for me to point out where we are. So there we are, the little blue triangle. We're going to be hanging on the left, coming all the way down, hanging on the left, down to City Southwest. And that's going to be my run today, but I'm not sure. Like, if that's a quick run, I might just extend the run out to like Harbour Town or something. Who knows? So once again, hang a left. So there's a junction coming up. Make sure we bear left. And then there's a few little curves. Another left. And then City Southwest. And from there, we'll see. Yes. Let's sort these wipers out once and for all. And yeah, I can't remember what the lights were set to. Oh no, that's terrible. And I don't want to get outside and have a look. I guess I could use the drone view, the external view, and have a bit of a look, but should be alright. Oh, didn't quite reduce the throttle back to idle then. Make sure the sander's off. Alright, we're in 2-2, so gear 2-2 is like almost halfway into the gearbox, ratio wise, so we're doing pretty well, actually topping out in 2-2 as well. So next ratio in is 3-1. Actually, let's just see first. I'm just going to keep it in 2-2 for now, I think. It's a very complex gearbox on this thing. If you haven't run this locomotive before, it does take a bit of getting used to. But one thing I did mention in my previous DM3 video was basically you can just write all the gear combinations down and just refer to them on a sheet of paper. So just for those of you who haven't watched my previous DM3 video, that gear combination starts at 1-1, 1-2, then goes 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, 3-2, 2-3, and 3-3. That's what I use anyway. So there you go. Just to reiterate. I like having the map down there on the dash. It's a good idea. Oh boy. More of an incline coming up. Yeah. 2.2. Ooh, even better. Okay, so more hills to climb. The good thing is this time we've got some momentum behind us. Engine's actually revved up quite high here. We could probably actually go to the next gear ratio, which is 3-1. But what I want to do first is just make sure, because we do have a junction coming up soon. So you kind of have to be ready for that. I'm just going to use the remotes to change these junctions over. Or the remote. I had this crazy thought the other day that maybe I would do an episode one day where I disable the remote and I have to jump out and actually attend to the points manually myself. The only problem with that is if you've got a very heavy train and you're on a hill and then you have to stop short of the points, good luck trying to get going again. So that could be quite an interesting video actually. Maybe I will do that after all. Maybe the only remote I'll use is the remote that for the shunter that I'll put behind us. There's an idea. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts as well. We're in 2-2 and locomotive's not happy. Seems like we're going up more of a hill now. I'm just going to hold it in 2-2 anyway. Oil temps in the gearbox are rising. I might have to shift down here. 2-1 is the next ratio down. And we're at 1.5. Actually, I think we'll probably be out of the woods now with this grade. Just make sure the sand's off. Yeah, gearbox temps are definitely elevated. The RPM gauge is showing a good amount of power. Speed's holding. Look at the sand level already, it's down to almost half. One thing with this game that I never could quite understand is why you managed to go through sand so quickly. I feel like, well, it seems like to me that the sand tanks should be a little bit bigger than they are. Anyway, it's starting to rain now, so yay, we're going to get some wet rails and yeah, we'll see what that does to our tractive effort. Yeah, here comes the junction, and we'll need to change these points, so let me just do that with this remote. Nice, done. Okay, let's just check out this speed on the, yep, so on the left hand side, 60k now, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay, looks like our locomotive is getting quite a bit more momentum now, so we'll probably look at changing gears soon. Engine's really revving out, you can hear it. I don't want to blow the engine up. No, we don't. I love this little DM3. Watch out, people. Yes, I couldn't imagine hurting this poor old little locomotive. Let's just reduce the throttle a little bit. And watch our temps just sink right back. Now I'm going to change gear. Going to 3-2. So I actually just skipped right then. I was in 2-2 and I just went straight up to 3-2. Could have gone to 3-1 just now, but I didn't. So yeah, now I could just go straight up to 3-3 even if I want to. There's 2-3 in between this gear and 3-3, so yeah. If you don't know what on earth I'm talking about, I'm sorry. okay? I really am sorry. You just have to watch my previous video on the DM3 where I explain all about gear ratios. Just jump into drone view once again and have a little bit of a look-see. Look at that. As far as the eye can see, we are hauling the train. That's horrible. Sorry. Yep. Okay, now that we're in yet another tunnel, I get the feeling that we are descending a little bit. Could probably even go into top gear here to save a bit of fuel. One thing with this though is you do want to keep a bit of revs on board so that when you go into engine brake mode, your engines are more effective at braking. If you just go into top gear and then you try an engine brake, especially as you slow down, it's not going to be very effective. And you can see the blue triangle there. We are making our way down towards the southwestern zone of the map. Slowly, not quite, but we're getting there. I love this locomotive. I hope you are all enjoying this video so far. Just, make sure the brake's in running position there. It was in release this whole time. And we are moseying on quite well, I must say, at the moment. Proceedings are going along swimmingly. Quite a bit of rock faces and whatnot in this area. Got a bit of a drop on the right hand side as well. We're starting to get a little bit more weather as well. Just idling along at the moment in 3-2. So that's just going to, we'll go to the next gear, which is 2-3. And let the engine chew on that for a bit. I won't go to top gear quite so early. We'll see how this goes first. I don't want to end up running down the hill too fast either, because yeah, I feel like, well, it could well be that that will happen if I have too much power on. So I'm just kind of seeing how we go. For the moment, we've got a bit of a sharpish left curve coming up, but then it's going to kind of open out a little bit. And I've got one or two little bumps, I guess you could say, in between there. But yeah, after this left-hand curve, hopefully we're not going too fast for this curve. I think we're fine. You can hear the rails squealing away. We're making some good speed coming down this descent, it seems. Our train's still attached, that's always handy. It's a lovely day to be driving a train, isn't it? And we're just going a little bit too fast for my liking right now, but I don't mind. We're making good time, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not actually doing a job right now. I'm just in free roam mode, I guess, or sandbox mode as they call it. So, yes. Let's see if we get any wheels squeal going around this curve. I think we're doing a comfortable speed. And it's starting to rain, so the rails are getting wet, I believe. So we're doing a comfortable speed. It's good. I'm happy. We'll keep this going. We'll see how we're going on the map. Alright, so we're about halfway through that little section there, as you can see. So we've got a little bit of a ways to go. Ooh, getting some squeal now. Okay. Just got to be taking it a little bit easy because don't want to. Let's see what this speed sign says up here actually. Yeah. Speed limit of 80, so Yeah, we're doing about 50 at the moment, so we've got a huge buffer there, or quite a bit of buffer to keep the speed going. Nice straight section here, so we can just speed on through. Okay, 70, so speed limit's coming down, and it will be coming down in future according to that little sign. So let's just keep the RPMs where they are. Add a little bit of engine braking, just for my own peace of mind here. And yeah, eventually we'll be having a left-hand kind of junction, which we won't have to worry about the points because they can only go left really. Let's just put the engine braking on a bit more here. Just want to slow this thing down a bit. I'm a little bit uncomfortable. Good thing I did that because I don't think we're going to derail here, but it's always best to just err on the side of caution, you know. 60, okay, 60. That's fine, we're at 45. Let's lay off the engine brake a little bit, mostly. And nice little viaduct. Once again, add a little bit more engine brake. Just want to nurse it down this hill. Don't want things to go badly here, we really don't. I think we've more or less put the grades behind us for now. What's that? I didn't even catch that. Yeah, that's fine, we've got a bit of a straight section in front of us now. You can see that little blue triangle. We'll just keep puttering along in top gear. Take the engine brake off. This is about the most economical that you could run this locomotive in top gear like that. Actually, I wonder what happens if you were to move the reverser to neutral whilst it's underway. I don't know if that's permissible. Ooh, 90, okay. Definitely can put a bit more power on actually. And that is what I shall do. I shall put the power on. Let us take this thing to terminal velocity. We're in top gear. Engine gearbox temps are rising, but that's fine. Before I go all out, let's just oh, okay, 40. It's a good thing that I didn't actually go all out. Let's put the engine brake on because I'm getting a little bit worried here. We're doing over 50. Speed limit's 40. Yeah, it's a bit of a right-hand bend here. Let's put the brake on even. Bit worried, bit worried, bit worried. Bring the speed. Keep the speed in check. Keep the speed in check. I think I put too much braking on. No, it's fine. I can see out the corner of my eye that red needle is just where I want it to be. Let's just put it back into running. Oh, no, we've applied the brake slightly. Go back to 0 and running. There we go. Excellent. Okay, brakes are off again. You can see it's a bit of a juggling. It's almost like we're juggling at least two things here. Engine brake off. Looks like it's mostly level here, more or less. Ooh, a nice little bit of scenery coming up. Look at that. Look at that view, ladies and gents. Look at that view. This is what Derail Valley is all about. Not derailing. How ironic. There's a certain sense of accomplishment when you know that things can go really wrong and yet they haven't. It's always handy. Is it just me, or does it feel like the train's struggling a little bit here? Let's hop back inside. Enough of that. Yeah, Alright, let's shift down a little bit here. We'll go to 2-2. Ooh, okay. I just completely fluked that gear choice. And I think it's taken us right into the power band, more or less. Oh, it's a diesel engine, so this is probably at the edge of its power band. But anyway, I think we needed that because it looks as if we got another grade in front of us. That's the thing when you got a little bit of weight behind you. If you're not careful, things can get away from you. Okay, we're finally coming around to the last leg before we hit City Southwest. And this will be a pretty straight run actually, straight down into City Southwest. So you can see there, just crossing through the little junction now. Don't have to worry about the way the points are set. We'll probably run through them, who knows, but And straight on through. Looks like 100km/h limit, speed limit. We're not going to get up to that with this thing. But nonetheless, yep, it's a downhill as well, minus 1.4. Let's go into top gear. Oops, didn't wait long enough before shifting gear. When shifting gear, you have to go into idle, but you can't just go into idle and then shift straight away. Gotta let the engine kind of slow down a bit first. I'm just going to go back to 2-3 here for a sec. Just want to pick up a bit more speed. You can hear the whining of the gearbox as we pick up some speed here. Okay, that's better. That's a better shift. Okay, I've got a full throttle. I've got the throttle wide open here. And we're in top gear. So we'll see how fast this thing can go. Looks as if we'll probably get it to almost 70km/h. We've got no more gears. We're in top gear already, so she's topping out just shy of 70, which is not a bad little achievement for this locomotive. It's around 40 miles an hour almost in the old money. Look at those connecting rods go. You wouldn't want to take this thing any faster than this, I'd say. You'd probably throw a rod or something. At this speed, we're not going to... Yeah, we're almost... let's put the engine braking on full, because at this speed it's not going to take us very long to cover that ground. And we don't want to end up burning through into City Southwest at top speed. What a beautiful day it is in Derail Valley. The weather's holding up once again. Let's just announce our arrival into City Southwest here. All our refrigerated food. You know, I'm getting a bit of an itch now. I'm feeling that this run is just... it's a little bit short. So, I don't know, I might keep going. If I want to keep going though, I've got to throw that point right ahead of us. Do I do it? Do I do it? I want to keep going. Should we keep going? Or should we stop here? I guess we're continuing on. I'm sorry, City Southwest. We'll deliver the food another time. This load's going somewhere else today. It's a good thing there's no other traffic in this game, because I'd really hesitate to think what it'd be like if I just decided to, you know what, change my plan and go on a different route with all this other traffic everywhere. Now that would be cool, to have a multiplayer aspect to this game. Alright, so have a bit of a change of plan there. We're just heading east for the moment. And what I'm thinking is we'll probably head to Harbour and Town after all. That's probably going to mean that it's going to be well and truly dark by the time we wrap up this run. But I think it should be a nice little run. I want to see if I can test this thing on a few more grades along the way. Let's just focus on getting through these points for the moment. Let's put it into top gear and see how she goes. Looks like level ground, but a reducing speed limit coming up soon. That's fine. Just keep an eye on the road ahead. Make sure that we're not getting ourselves into any trouble. We've got a bit of a Y junction coming up soon. Our oil temps are climbing. Yeah, we can see that we do need to bear to the left hand side. You can see there we're heading east, and we've left CSW behind in the dust, and we're bearing hard towards Oil Well Central at the moment. As long as we make sure we take a left hand through these points. Let's just get off the throttle here. Just add a little bit of brake. Not too much. Oh, went through already. Ooh, okay, that's a 30k an hour limit, that one. It's a good thing I had the brake on. Probably a little bit too much. Releasing the brake now frantically and applying full throttle, but we're in top gear. That's not going to get us anywhere. Oh, almost stopped. That wasn't very well executed, unfortunately. I've done better, and I've done worse. Hope you're all enjoying this run so far. I think it's going to be a nice little run down to potentially Harbour and Town. I think I'm just kind of seeing where this takes us today. Let's just shift up into 2-3. This section of Derail Valley, this section of track here, is actually not too bad gradient wise. As you can see there, 60k an hour limit and level ground. Oil temp's working up a sweat there, but that's fine. Just keep an eye on those. It's because we're lugging along in quite a high gear at the moment. We're breaking through the trees here. Got some reeds, and we can start to see Oil Well Central looming in front of us. And if I have a quick look at the map, we can confirm that as well. Once we pass through Oil Well Central, there's the farm. And then I'm thinking what we'll probably do is, yeah, we'll bear right and we'll head on down towards Harbour and Town. There's a nice little grade as you bear right there, just after the farm. And let's put it into high gear now. Here we go, just coming through Oil Well Central now. And we'll get on the horn very shortly. A very flammable section of Derail Valley right here. Don't want to cause any trouble through here. 'Cause, 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 straight through. Just see the hills in the distance there. Level crossing. Our temps are doing very well. Can probably shift up actually, but we'll be alright. Okay, next bit of, or next station I guess you could call it, is farm. It's just known as farm. It appears as FM on the map. Quite a bit of time's passed in game. Shadows are getting a bit long now, so we're coming into late afternoon. I'm just gonna bring out the lantern for later. What I've found as well is sometimes running with the cab light off in the darkness is better. You get better visibility when your cab lights are off in the dark, at least. So just passing through a farm now and leaving farm. Let's put the power on. Okay, so this next section here, we're going to go over a little bridge, or a bridge. Bit of a straight section, but you can see there's steel mill in the distance there. We're not going to be going that way. We're going to be bearing off to the right hand side. So let's just make sure that everything is still good back there. Haven't really been looking back as often as I should have been so far. So on the outskirts of farm, just leaving farm now, and we can see here's the bridge, and then over to the right there's a bit of a hard right turn. We'll be going that way, and as we go that way as well, you'll see there in just a moment that there's a bit of a grade. So let's just make sure that these points are set. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit annoying. And I'm going to just put the brake on. And we'll have ourselves a little leg stretch. Oh no! We're going through the points. I was hoping to stop short so I could flip the lever over. Ooh, look at that. Plus 3.3% gradient up ahead. We haven't climbed the gradient that hard yet. Are we ready for this? We'll see. And I've stopped as well. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and reverse. Because I've stopped a little bit. I've overshot the points, so apologies for that. Let's just back this thing up. Alright, let's throw these points over, and look at that. Look at those lighting effects. Just take a moment to take that in. Okay, points are set. There's our grade up ahead. And there's our train back there. 3.3%, here we go. Let's hop back inside. Tell you what, I can really start to see the darkness is on its way. I've just used the independent brake here to stop, so I'll have to take that off. But hang on, I just want to go into 2.2 here, and let's take the independent off. Let's give it full throttle. I'm really asking a lot right now. This is not the way to do this, but yeah, I've just taken off in 2. Oh god, that was horrible. I'm sorry. Just trying to pick my gears here, quite literally. Pick them off the floor. Here we go, up the hill. This is the last big hill of the day. Can we do it? Can we do it? 3.3%. Oil temps rising. I'm backing off the throttle a bit because that gives us some relief on our oil temperatures. Come on, you can do this. Okay, maybe not. Let's go back to 2-2. No. No. See, that's what happens when you're in a hurry. Go back to 2-1 now. Not quite low gear, but getting there. I must say the torque of this DM3 is nothing to really be scoffed at. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, where this thing suffers the most is it's relatively lighter weight. So even though it's got the torque, you can't quite get the traction sometimes. But it's got one extra axle compared to the DE2 shunter, so... Whoop, just ran through those points. And got an 80k now limit up ahead, so... I think we're more or less over the hump now, pretty much. Just the rear section of the train going over it. As the sun begins to set, we continue our journey. Soon it will be night. But the DM3 continues relentlessly. Cannot be stopped. Okay, enough of that. Just wanted to have a quick look at the map here. You can see our little blue triangle has completed the little curvature and it's heading southwest at the moment. And we've got a junction coming up. We'll have to make sure we veer left on that one. And we've got a grade in front of us. I'm going to try and make some better time now. I've got the throttle pretty much wide open. And we're in gear 2-2. So we're pretty much halfway through the gearbox, ratio-wise. Hopefully we can get a bit more speed here. We are going up a hill, so no miracles. And the oil's running a bit hot as well. But not at the limit, so that's fine. If we can get a bit more speed, I'll shift up. I'll go to 3-1. Just back off the throttle there, because we're really cooking the oil now. Make sure we keep the oil temps in check. Okay, coming up to our little junction now. We're going to make sure that we bear off to the left-hand side. And I'm not stopping this time. There's no grades or anything. I'm just going to go straight run. It's getting a bit late, so... Let's see if we can't make Harbour and Town before it gets too dark. Although, I'm not sure. Probably won't get to beat the sun, unfortunately. See if I can get a bit more light going ahead of us here. That looks okay. And off to the left we go. And got a bit of a gradient from the looks. It's getting really late now. Let's have a bit of a look at the map C again. Looks like we've got another Y junction coming up. Got to make sure we are heading off to the left again. See if we can't do it from this distance. And I think we're all good there, so I've just got it in top gear right now. Let's just back off the throttle a little bit, even though we're well under the speed limit. Make sure we go left. Let's just have a look here. Ooh, just drop down there on the step. A little bit unintentional, didn't mean to go down this far, but haven't fallen off the train. Okay, from memory we've got a bit of a straight section ahead of us, so let's just jam on the throttle here and try and make some good time. You can definitely tell it's getting late because all of the nightlife, as it were, is barking in my ear. Definitely hear the gearbox speeding up there. Try and get in some speed here. Yeah, 100k now, easy. And increasing as well, so let's keep this thing floored. I've I've got it in top gear, so we can't go any faster than this. Should be able to get it to about 65-ish again. Making a mad dash for Harbour and Town here. Cutting through the darkness. As always, I do welcome your comments, as I've mentioned before as well. Oh, there's some foliage. I love how the foliage just gets pushed out of the way in this simulator update. It's a small update. It's a small thing, that one, but really adds to the experience. When I was playing in VR mode previously, on the non-simulator mode, I think that was Derail Valley Overhauled, I'd actually move my head out of the way instinctively when the foliage would come up against the window. Alright, still got this straight section that we're enjoying at the moment, but soon I think we'll have to back off a little bit. Yep, okay, so 80 now. I didn't catch whether that was decreasing. I think it was. Yeah, okay, got a bit of a sweeping left-hand curve coming up, but that's fine. And then we just have to make sure we bear right, and then bear left, and then we're at Harbour Town, folks. Alright, 70, yep, so speed limit's coming down. We're hardly just breaking 60, so we're still under the limit. Cutting through darkness here. The old DM3. What a lovely little engine. I'll never get tired of driving this thing. I think it's just all of the, just what it has to offer. The drivability and the engagement that it offers. Oh, back up to 80. It's just going to be smooth running all the way through till the junction. Alright, got the junction coming up, so just been tempering the speed down a little bit here, because we do have to make sure this comes up rather quickly. Make sure that we are set to the right. Let's put a bit of braking on, because the points through here aren't bad. Not too bad, but yeah, it's the points after this tunnel, and this is a short tunnel here. It's the points around here just after this tunnel that are a little bit more sharp from memory. And I've gone through this section of Derail Valley quite a bit previously, so I've got a little bit of memory of this part. It's going to be a bit of a curve off to the right hand side here, so just managing the brake here, just making sure that we keep just apply the brake a bit through here. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, downhill, 40k now and increasing. So once we're through this set of points here, just watch the train. We'll get off the brake. We'll start releasing now, because it will take a few seconds to release anyway. And then at this point, ooh, that's interesting. Look at that. Look at what the revs are doing. They're kind of hunting. I think that's because the compressor's running, maybe. That's pretty cool. Had the engine brake on as well. All right, let's get this thing moving again. That's got a little bit of a curve here, but more or less we should be okay. Yep, level ground, 70k now. So let's brakes off into the running position. What I'll do is I'll just put my lantern up here, and I'm just going to try turning off the cap light. As I was mentioning before, I seem to have, now that the light is more or less gone from the sun, it's well and truly nighttime. I find that just having the dash lights on and the lantern inside, the lantern gives just enough light to light up the levers and whatnot, and the dash lights obviously light up gauges, so that's fine. But yeah, it just allows you to see a little bit more of the outside without getting blinded from all the cap lighting. I just want to take it easy through here. I could have floored it, but that would have been too much. So I've shifted down into 2-3, as you can see there. And I'm just taking it easy through here, because it's only 50k now, as we get ever closer to harbour and town. Okay, so we've got basically one more junction left, and we are at harbour and town, folks. So appreciate your patience with this. I like a nice long run with the old DM3, and I think you'll agree it's been quite an eventful one today. Done some hill climbs, stalled the locomotive only once. Got a little bit of wheel spin there in the beginning. Overall, I must say, once again, this is a very competent locomotive indeed. So as we come up to this last junction, just make sure that it's set correctly. And it's set fine from the looks of things. So once we go through this, we'll be more or less upon harbour and town. We'll be seeing those lights through these points. I love the physics of the objects in the cab as well, the lantern and whatnot. Last tunnel here. Yep, there it is. There is harbour and town peeking through. Look at the lights of harbour and town. So majestic. This last leg as we head into harbour and town is basically just mostly downhill here. You remember on my first look of Derail Valley Simulator, not that long ago now, I was struggling to pull a load coming the other way, coming up this grade, using the little lowly old shunter. And yeah, we blew a fuse or two that night and rolled back down the hill. I like to think we've come a little bit further since then. And this has been a good run today. So in just a moment we'll be entering harbour and town, and I'll go ahead and just stop, and we shall call it. Coming up to the engine shed, which will be on the right hand side shortly. Let's announce our presence through here, wake everyone up, why not? It's getting rather late once again as we finish our run, but I must say it's been a successful one. One of these videos I am going to do an actual job, don't worry. I'm going to do an actual run where we get money and whatnot, and that should be interesting as well. I've still got my legacy career save actually in the game, but I haven't been playing the career mode for a little while lately. Just breaking all the rules here and speeding through harbour and town. Just don't mind me while I do that. But yes, I haven't played the legacy career mode. I do have a legacy save, and I've got a bit of cash in there, but don't quite have all the licenses yet. That's the good thing about sandbox mode, is it does give you access to most of the licenses, bar one I believe. And one thing I'm looking forward to as well is the Steam Shunter, which I don't believe has been released yet. At least I don't think it has. But you can bet that the moment that thing's out, or as soon as I hear that it's out, I'll be making a video on it. So if you want to see a video of the Steam Shunter in Derail Valley once it's out, don't you worry, I'll be making a video on it. Okay, let's call it here. So let's just apply the brake. And yes, thank you so much for watching once again. I really appreciate your viewership and patience as I navigate these treacherous surrounds in Derail Valley, and not so treacherous sometimes. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, if you did enjoy this. If you didn't, sorry to hear that. Do let me know what I did do good and what I could do better next time. Always keen to hear your feedback and your adventures as well within Derail Valley. So let me know what you've been up to in Derail Valley. Would love to hear it in the comments below, and gives me inspiration as well to hear what you guys and girls have been up to in the game. But yes, hopefully you enjoyed this, and it's been a nice run once again in the DM3. So It's very quiet here in Harbour and Town here in the evening. I feel bad that I was just blaring my horn repeatedly there, but hey, that's what you do, isn't it? As a train driver. Cause all sorts of incessant shenanigans. And you can bet we'll be causing more incessant shenanigans next time. So, once again, thanks for watching, and I shall catch you all in the next one.